Hey, welcome to the channel. Today we're going to talk about four-door hardtops. One of the coolest styles available on four-door cars in the 50s, 60s, and even into the 70s, in my opinion. So stick around. So today we're going to talk about something that I wasn't even aware of until really recently. But first, if it's your first time here at the channel, do us both a favor and click the little red button under the video that says subscribe. Then click the bell to turn on notifications. That way you won't miss anything and you'll catch all the latest videos as they come out. On the channel we cover everything from everyday repairs to performance upgrades to restoration stuff and a lot of stuff in between that just shows an appreciation for automotive and automotive history. So I hope you come back and check out what we've got. Oh, and if you want a little added bonus today, stick around till the very end of the video and I'll show you some of my favorite examples of the kind of car that we're going to talk about today. So let's get started. Now, I've been a classic car enthusiast for as long as I can remember. I've been through various phases as my love of cars progressed. Everything from trucks to sports cars, pony cars, muscle cars, GM, Mopar, Datsun, you name it, maybe Ford someday. My tastes have changed a bit as I got older though. So as my family has grown, I have started to look into things that can carry a family. You know, go figure. I really started gravitating towards cars that would work as daily drivers for a family guy.
Ah, sweet.
So you might be able to tell already, probably by the car that I'm in right now, that I love wagons. I've always been a big fan of wagons, but I've also been looking a lot into just regular four-door cars. Sedans is what they're typically called. And lately I've been really looking into the sedans and noticed that some of them are different than others. I've started to notice that some four-door cars are a lot more appealing to me than others, and I didn't know what it was at first, but then I started realizing that these cars that I like the most don't have a post between the front and rear doors, or a B-pillar. For anyone who doesn't know, a B-pillar is a support for the roof between the front and rear doors of a car. Sometimes two-door cars can have B-pillars as well. In fact, most two-door cars today would have a B-pillar too. There's also an A-pillar that supports the windshield and a C-pillar that supports the rear window in a car. And some cars would even have a D-pillar depending on how long they are. Basically, the pillars are what holds up the greenhouse of a car or the area with the windows. So a typical sedan would have an A-pillar, a B-pillar, and a C-pillar. All right? The B-pillar provides support for the roof or the greenhouse and provides rigidity to the frame of the car, and can be a good place for mounting door hardware like hinges or latches. Structural integrity is great and all, but what if you want an unobstructed view from any seat in the car? Or what if you want your four-door sedan to look a little bit like one of those two-door muscle cars, right? Especially when the windows are down, you know, people might not be able to tell if it's got 2 or 4 doors. That's pretty cool. Enter the four-door hardtop. By removing the B-pillars, car companies were able to give everyone in the car that panoramic view, especially when the windows are down. And you may disagree with me on this, but I think a four-door hardtop with no B-pillars and all the windows down looks sick. So some examples of cars that had four-door hardtop options were the Chevy Impala, Ford Galaxy, the Dodge Polara, Dodge Custom 880, Chrysler Newport. Most of the main big cars had this option, and most of the intermediate cars did too, like Chevrolet Chevelles and Ford Fairlanes. You'd see them in Cadillacs a lot. So this was pretty widespread, but I don't know how popular the option was or how many were produced. There's still, I think, a lot more regular four-door sedans with B-pillars out there than there are four-door hardtops. I know Chevy called them sports sedans. I don't know if other car companies had certain names for the four-door hardtop that differentiated them from sedans, regular sedans. So some pretty cool stuff out there. And here's a little bit of bonus information for you. Most wagons were based on regular sedans with B-pillars, but there were a couple examples that had that cool pillarless design. The only ones I've been able to find so far are the Dodge Custom 880 from 61 to 64 and the Chrysler Newport from 61 to 64. If you guys know of any other wagons that had that pillarless design, like the Custom 880 and the Chrysler Newport, let me know in the comments, because I want to find some of these and I want to see examples. Okay, I know what you're thinking. I'm talking about how awesome these pillarless hardtops look, but I just said that the B-pillars can add some structural integrity to a car. That's true. And without the B-pillars, the car's not going to be as stiff. And that could be a problem if you're driving something like an Impala from 1963 with a 409 and 425 foot-pounds of torque, right? It's going to twist that car when you take off the line, right? But the fact of the matter is, all these car companies that were producing hardtops, at the same time, were producing convertible models of these same cars. And they'd been doing that for a lot longer than they'd had the hardtops out. So they found ways to add rigidity and keep the structural integrity of a car and make it so you could put a big block in it and still not twist the frame every time you took off from a stoplight. And the way they did that was just with either bracing on the bottom part of the body, or you could add additional cross members to the frame. Now this often added weight, so it wasn't uncommon for a convertible or a four-door hardtop car to have to weigh a lot more than its B-pillared counterpart. All right, so there you have it. A piece of automotive history, a fun fact, if you will, that you may or may not find useful / interesting. I was amazed that I went so long without knowing about four-door hardtops. And now I feel like I definitely need to have one at some point. Maybe it'll be one of the wagons that's available out there, or maybe it'll just be a really cool old caddy or something. But I've got to have one. So what I want to know is, what do you think about four-door hardtops? Do you think they're cool? Or do you think I'm crazy for liking them so much and feeling like I have to have one? Would you drive one every day if you could find one? Or do you? Are there some of my viewers out there that have four-door hardtops? If you do, I want to know about it. We'll get in touch and I'll get a way to get some pictures of it from you or something. Yeah, let me know in the comments. And if you're still here, you might as well click the subscribe button, because I know you want to come back and see some other stuff too. At least that's what I'm thinking if you stuck around for this long. So click that subscribe button, click the bell to get notifications, and you might as well smack that like button too if you stuck around for the whole video and you liked what you saw. It was really nice to have you join me today, and I hope you come by again sometime soon. Thanks a lot. Bye.